What's up, guys? Matt with Retro Motorsports USA here, and today, as you can see, I'm in my driveway, and there's something in a sea of black E36s. You can see we have Tim's bright yellow. Forgive me, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's some sort of, I won't even try. It's some sort of Lamborghini painted yellow. This thing, if you guys are local to Chicago, or maybe even you're not, you've seen this thing on the internet. This car's broken the internet for the last like 10 years. If you guys aren't familiar, Tim's had this car for a long time. It's been through a lot of renditions, different versions, different styles, different body kits, different paint, different everything. And it's just, I mean, to be in the presence of this car is just insane. Every time I've seen this car, it's impressed me over and over and over. He's constantly changing it up, constantly switching things up. He's always got the coolest, the latest, I mean, like, you can tell the excitement in my voice. This thing is just so cool. Although it's not my style of a build, it's definitely something that everyone can appreciate. And it being a real Dakar yellow E36 M3, it certainly is a cool car, no matter how you look at it or what your opinion is on how it's built. So I'm going to show you guys some cinematics of it quick, and then I'm going to explain what we're doing with it today. All right, so now that you've had a chance to check out some of the nitty-gritty details of this car sitting here in my driveway, let me explain this to you. This car is a no expense spared, straight show build. I mean, this thing, yes, it's a real M3. Yes, it is quick. Yes, it does have a lot of cool parts, but this thing is a show car. This thing is made to drop jaws, break necks, and just be the coolest guy at the meet. And Tim definitely executed this well. I mean, this thing is just insane. Like I mentioned, even though it's not my style, it can definitely be appreciated. So one of the things that he's struggled with is, since the engine has been assembled, this engine, it's an S52 US 3.2 liter, right? Single Vanos. It has had an issue with the Vanos. It's had a Vanos issue that's been lingering, a mechanical jamming code as it comes up through a scan tool. And he's having some lurching issues and stuff like that we're going to try to replicate. And we're going to see if we can set this straight for him. He's been enjoying the car. Obviously, it just got done, the latest rendition. So he's been driving it. It is drivable, but that check engine light, I mean, it's just been bothering him. So we're going to try to get to the bottom of it today. So my neighbor Gordon, he had to check it out. Appreciate it. Wave, Gordon. Gordon loves to check out the cool cars we have in our driveway. So, all right, Gordon, go to school. Stay in school. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
As I was saying, Tim's experiencing some Vanos code, so we're going to try to get to the bottom of that today. Since Tim lives in the city of Chicago, and my house is here just right outside the city, and the shop's all the way out west, I offered to drive it out to the shop. It's registered, insured, drivable, so with his permission, I offered to drive it to the shop, so that's what we're going to do today. So we take this out to the shop, then we'll get into it, but I just couldn't wait to give you guys the first look at this insane M3 that he dropped in my driveway last night, in a sea of black E36s here in the driveway. So stay tuned. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. All right, let's see what this thing's all about. All right, starts right up. I'm gonna let it idle for a few minutes. Bye, Brianna. Have a good day at work. I have my little Bluetooth scanner hooked up. So before we even go anywhere, I just want to see what it's going to poop out at me. I'm noticing a little bit of a rough idle. You hear that? Okay, so here's what codes we got. All right, we'll look into these more when we get to the shop. So all those codes that I just showed on the screen, there's kind of a variety. We have idle air control valve, we have oxygen sensors, we have a Vanos code. They could mean a lot of different things. So I'm just gonna take note of that now. I'm going to clear them, and then we're gonna drive the car the 50 miles to the shop, and then we'll reevaluate there. Starts up just fine. And let's hit the road. See what comes back when we get to the shop. First impressions, this thing actually drives really good. Sometimes with cars like this, you think they're just gonna be super aggressive. And as you can hear from the exhaust is pretty aggressive. But as far as drivability, I mean, it feels like an E36 M3. It doesn't feel like anything insane. Obviously, I'm gonna be careful, avoid some bumps and stuff, but it doesn't feel like this thing's scraping the ground, rubbing fenders. It actually drives pretty good. It's impressive, dude. Good stuff, Tim. Gotta give his credit where it's due. This thing drives pretty good on the highway, but the exhaust is just outrageous. Oh my gosh! Insane! Wait. Crazy.
Of your white car.
So we have made it out to Holy Bean Coffee. Their driveway's a little bumpy, but I got my refresher. Thankfully, Tim's got nice cup holders. If he didn't have nice cup holders, I wouldn't have even tried, but it's a nice sealed cup and he's got cup holders. So I had to stop, grab a refresher. Now we are gonna head to the shop. We got some back roads. This being a Chicago native car, I'm not sure it's ever seen scenery like this. It's beautiful, right? She's saying, yeah. She's saying, yeah, it's nice out here. She said, what's that, a horse? What's that, a goat? What's that, an open road? No traffic? No street lights? No potholes? I mean, look at this. This road is just, the roads out here are amazing. Check this out, look at the tachometer. That's not even close to accurate. Hoping that's a cluster issue, but I do want to make note of that in case it's a crankshaft sensor issue or wiring issue or a DME issue or something of the sorts. It seems to be feasible now, but before it just was not. Yeah, now it seems to be practical. All right, guys, so I made it to the shop. Car actually drives pretty good. check engine lights back on. So I'll scan the code and we'll see what codes come back. What's up, guys? We have Tim's car in the shop. I've already done some digging, so I'm gonna fill you in on where we're at right now. So starting off, I scanned the codes when I left my house. So 50 miles ago, I scanned the codes, and what I had was a P1250, a P1519, 1188 and 89, and P0170, all right? I cleared those codes, drove the car 50 miles, and then here's what came back. All the codes we had before came back and brought some friends along. So we had the P1250, which is fuel pressure regulator control, kind of a general code. P1519, now that one's interesting. That one is described as Vanos mechanical jamming, camshaft position sensor, actuator jammed, intake side. All right, so that one's interesting. Keep that one in your head. Then we have P1188 and 89. Those are fuel control, bank 1 and 2. Essentially what those ones, as well as the P0170, that's just a reaction code saying, it's the oxygen sensors, saying we don't like what's coming through the exhaust. So we're not gonna focus too much on those codes. Those are more reactionary codes. And then the new ones that came back after driving 50 miles, we had a P0170 prior. Now we have a P0170 and 173. So now we have bank 1 and bank 2 fuel trims that aren't happy. And the new one that's interesting is P0505. Now that's an idle control system code. And that one can lead you down a rabbit hole. And before we even follow that code down a rabbit hole, it's easy enough with everything going on here. I want to make sure that we're accurate in our diagnosis here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to smoke test the intake system. We're just going to confirm everything on the intake side of things, as well as the valve cover gasket sealing. But we believe that we're chasing a Vanos issue, possibly just a worn Vanos unit, possibly installed wrong. We've seen that before. So stay tuned as we diagnose this. I have the scanner hooked up. These are all P codes from my general scanner through the 16 pin. And now I have this scanner hooked up through the 20 pin here, and we're getting some more codes. So same thing, we have the oxygen sensor codes, bank 1, bank 2, deviation, mixture deviation, bank 2, bank 1, idle code, mechanical jamming, and then we have some misfires, camshaft sensor, and then a whole bunch of stuff that we don't care about from the body control modules and stuff. With that said, I'm not going to follow any particular code down a rabbit hole at this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just start simple, confirm the intake system is sealed properly, and then we'll go out, we'll do some live stream testing, see if the Vanos is actually getting its full range of motion. Should be able to see that through some live data here. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated as we get through this. All right, so this is a little interesting. So you can see here we have our smoke tester rigged up and everything, and it's leaking a little bit past here, but what do you see? Major leak coming from the oil filler cap. Now that's concerning for a few reasons, but before I even worry too much about it, I'm going to throw a regular oil filter cap on it and see if we can eliminate that leak. As you guys saw, we had major leaks from that. I went and grabbed one off the shelf, and now we don't have any major leaks, but I'm still seeing a little bit of smoke here. I mean, mind you, there's a little tiny bit leaking out of here, but this, I'm seeing, and I suspect it to be this brittle guy right here. But that is not a major leak. And looking close under the intake manifold, I don't see anything because, for you guys unfamiliar, this is an M50 intake manifold on the S52 engine. And when you do that, you have to do some adapting with some vacuum routing. And so there's a lot of room for error there. However, the smoke test is telling me that it's not really there. And comparing to before, I mean, just generally, we don't have major leaks of vacuum now. So I'm going to go clear the codes, test drive the car now. And my suspicion is that all of our mixture codes are going to be gone, and that was related to this oil filler cap failure. But the Vanos codes, those may be separate. So stay tuned. We'll see what we find after we clear the codes and test drive the car. Who knows? Maybe they all come back. But that was bad. Now it's good. So one step at a time. So I'm going to put this intake back on so that we can go test drive this thing. And I'm looking down here. I'm like, wait a second. The engine mount bracket is not bolted to the block. That's concerning. Just a quick thing I noted, I told Tim, and I told him that no matter what, when this car leaves here, that is going to be bolted to the block. All right, now with the car idling, check engine lights back, but more importantly, here you can see we have all of our live stream data. Our Vanos, I don't think I can say that word on the internet, but our Vanos is that. Our oxygen sensors are doing something. Ignition timing intervention is not active. Ignition angle is 12 degrees. That seems normal. Camshaft position is at about 30 degrees right now. Our cluster is dead. I think that's a cluster issue. Yeah, that's a cluster issue, not a crank signal issue. But my camshaft position is bouncing between 30, 29, and I just saw it jump to 60. And when it jumped to 60, it started idling rough, which I don't believe that it's at 60, but the car thinks it's at 60. So it's going to account for that according to what it thinks, no matter if it's right or wrong.
It's running pretty rough right now.
Yeah, it's running pretty rough right now at 60 degrees. It's a lot happier at 29. Take you around the block, see what we can find. So what we were able to determine on that test drive is the DME is commanding the Vanos. From here, this word here is changing to advanced. However, we're not seeing a relation. First of all, we're not feeling it in the car. We're not feeling that jolt of Vanos, the variable valve timing increase. And we're also not seeing any change in the timing as it happens. So that tells us that the Vanos is not working. Also, cluster's halfway dead, but that's a completely separate issue. So we'll keep looking into this. All right, so after clearing the codes, another test drive, we have some codes that have returned and we have some that have not persisted. We have some of the oxygen sensor and mixture deviation codes, bank 1 and 2, jamming of the Vanos. So that's about all she wrote for this diagnosis. What we're going to recommend is a Vanos replacement. We'll either get that from Dr. Vanos or Bizon or whoever wants to supply us with a certified rebuilt Vanos unit. And then that's probably the route that we're going to go. The oil cap was certainly leaking, so we're not going to put that red one back on, but one issue at a time. All right, guys, so we are really down the rabbit hole now. You can see I have some parts off our shelf here to do some comparative testing here with the Vanos solenoid. What I have found is resistance on the solenoid is good on both. We have like 7 point whatever ohms, and the book says between 7 and 8 is a good healthy solenoid. So we're good there. And then now the setup I have here is I have the power probe, and what I've done here is I've rigged up a way to actuate the solenoid. And now you have to take my word for it that when I apply this, I feel it here in the solenoid. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the key on, and we're just going to make sure that we have power here at this connector coming from the car. And as long as that's good, we've confirmed our wiring to our Vanos solenoid as well as the solenoid. So that's about all we can do on the electrical side of things. And I have one more trick up my sleeve after that. So let's get this set up, get the key on, and we'll confirm that we have power going to the Vanos solenoid. Let's do that real quick. Tim's got this fan wired to be on all the time, and just because it's loud, I'm gonna unplug it. Leave it up here so we don't forget to plug it back in. So now, Okay, well, we have power to the Vanos solenoid through the harness, so the car is doing everything it can do to activate the Vanos, but unfortunately, nobody seems to be home, or we have worn seals or what have you. So at this point, the last trick I have up my sleeve, and honestly, that test just proved to me that I don't need to do it, was going to be swapping the DME for a known good one that we had, but this is activating the Vanos, so that's not going to do anything. So I'll actually keep that trick right up in here. It's unnecessary at this point due to the testing that we just did. So what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to be finishing a general inspection of the car, but according to that test, I mean, if you guys believe something different, drop it in the comments. But at this point, I mean, we've tested with known good, we've tested on the car. I think this car's got a bad Vanos unit. Either the seals are worn or something's damaged or something's going on. But at this point, we're going to be condemning the Vanos unit. So hope you guys enjoyed that little diagnosis. It's a pretty good one, pretty fun rabbit hole to run down. You don't want the little stuff to cause you to deviate from reality. So remember, keep it simple, stupid. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Hang tight. Welcome back, guys. So Tim's car's here, finally got it on the lift. It's a little low, so getting it on the lift was a little tricky, but a low car, nothing new for us. After an inspection, we found the transmission bracket broken in half. I did feel the shifter moving around a little, but that explains it, right? As well as we have the driver's side engine bracket that isn't bolted on. So Tim's got a car show this weekend. We diagnosed the Vanos. We're pretty confident in our diagnosis there, but I'm not sure if we're going to be taking care of it right now. But we do need to take care of the broken transmission bracket and the unbolted engine bracket for sure. So because Tim's got a car show this weekend, we want to get those handled ASAP. So I'm just going to knock them out today, and I'm going to get them back to the car tomorrow. Then we're going to plan that Vanos service for the future. We've talked to Llama again, Beeson Systems. She's done a great job of helping us diagnose this. After you get all the information and bring it to her, she is incredible at going, yep, seen that 1,000 times, do this, 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 and don't you dare forget about this, or else you're going to regret it. So thank you so much, Salama, over at Bezan. We appreciate you. We appreciate your years of knowledge that you share with us, because we're wee little younglings. So we're getting into these cars, so I'm sure we'll be working with Llama in the future. You may remember we worked with her with Tom's E36 M3 Vanos, and no different here. I mean, her customer service was just outrageously incredible. So that being said, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get this up. We're going to get some replace parts on here, get the bolts back in the driver's side engine bracket, and then Tim will be at the car show in Wisconsin this weekend. All right, so after getting elbow deep into Tim's E36, the driver's side engine bracket has bolts. I'll put a picture here. We now no longer have the three-piece style transmission bracket. So the transmission bracket, we put another used one, an aluminum OEM manual transmission bracket from an E36 in it. So it's now a one-piece rather than three-piece. His mounts were okay, so we kept those. So just some small maintenance, right? That's all we're going to do now. We're going to drop this down, get it out, and Tim's going to go see you guys in Milwaukee this weekend. All right, guys, so we just got Tim's car done. No matter what you do, you got to go for a test drive whenever you're done. So we're going to take this thing around the block for a test drive, and I think that's about it. I know I've said it over and over. Tim's got a car show this weekend, so even though we did diagnose the Vanos, I think we're going to do it in a few weeks. He's got a car show to go to. So we just got to make sure this thing's going to make it there and back. So that's what we did. right, so just pulled it out of the shop and it feels better already. There were some drivetrain clunks, shifter was clunking around, so besides that, drivability is identical. I mean, we didn't fix the Vanos, we didn't do anything there. We did fix the leaky oil cap though. Drives pretty good. Look at this, driving off into the sunset. Woo! This exhaust is insane. Well, guys, I think this is gonna finish this episode. I might check back in with you guys if we do the Vanos in the near future. If not, we'll just drop the video as is. You know, this was a 1 day in, same day out for Tim. We do what we can around here. Woo! And I mean, I think the best part about this is getting this car out here to these roads, because this being a Chicago native car, it doesn't see views like this very often. Well, guys, my name is Matt. Thanks for watching Retro Motorsports USA. Make sure to check us out on Instagram, YouTube, you're already here, Facebook, eBay if you need some parts, or just contact us directly. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the next one.